So my senior capstone project is how I believe AI tools can assist and support content creators. And I guess the idea behind this is that instead of society seeing AI in terms of, it taking our jobs, we should instead see them as tools to improve and, improve the outcome of our jobs instead. We should use it as a tool and use it to increase the production value instead of thinking of it as something that overtake us. So the creator overview, my name is Naki. I am a freelance photographer slash videographer. I graduated Milani High School in 2015 and I am planning to work in the creative media landscape. And I'm aiming to get my bachelor's in science in TV production and creative media. So the executive summary is as follows, the plans for my senior capstone project. State, explain my thesis for the statement, explain my objective and rationale for the research conducted for this project, and address the significance for my proposed project within my research. So my thesis statement is, although AI is still in its early stages, it holds the untapped potential to assist, shape, refine, and essentially mold a creative project in essentially all aspects of the pre-production, production, post-production phases in the media and entertainment landscape. So the rationale I have here is that AI has kind of a, like I stated before, a mixed threat between people in both artistic and creative industries, as well as in terms of the public concern in general. And unconsciously, we as people actually use AI in everyday scenarios, things like GPS and map navigation, autocorrect and text editors, as well as like things for your iPhone facial recognitions. So these AI tools, when used in the most basic form, people will use it to support themselves in both an academic and professional setting. So why can't we take these tools and use them to essentially build upon creativity for filmmaking? And how can we push these creatively without overly relying on it and still making the project our own? So my capstone plan is to essentially use the assistance of AI to deliver a short film and behind the scenes process of the capstone or my project at the end of the capstone. And this deliverable will offer me multiple opportunities to use these methods listed in my research paper, as well as understanding of how these can be used in a creative way through the three production processes. So this is significant because by collaborating with AI in the process of a deliverable, a human, and in this case, it would be me, can use the AI to handle areas outside of my personal strengths. So things like the creation of forms for talent and location releases, assistance with ideas for dialogue and script, uh, storyboards and shot lists because I am an absolute terrible drawer, and the creation of even things like the musical score for this final project. So with these tools, they can act as creative assistants while also being able to correct or resolve issues in the post production. And these tools, the more they're used, the more they become refined and the more accurate they can represent. So some of these can include the preservation of continuity throughout the deliverable, the background audio removal, as well as the recreation of audio, stylization of the visuals from captured and shot footage in the edit, and more advanced tools such as redubbing, which I don't think I'll be using, but it's there as like an idea for redubbing for different languages. There are tools that allow us to do that. And these are some statistics from Statista, and these are actually more towards marketable AI and the idea of AI in the marketplace, but I think it kind of applies to filmmaking as well or creative content. So, like I was saying earlier, the more something is used or the more funding that goes into a project, the more a tool can actually be redefined, become more accessible to everyone else. And this is just kind of like a base glimpse at what these tools are able to do based on the funding that they receive. So as we can see, like OpenAI, they get a lot of funding, and this is in the millions of dollars. So As we can see here, the market value for AI has actually been estimated to reach uh, 107.54, but that's in the millions by at least 2028. And these, especially in the marketable landscape and the creative content landscape, these are some of the benefits that people see in terms of using AI to assist them with projects. So things like time saving, enhanced experience, better personalization, the reduction of data errors, and of course, cost saving, because this will be something that will essentially take over budgeted sections of each individual project and make it simpler and easier to do on a smaller scale. So this is some consumer attitudes leading towards AI in uh, the market landscape. So some of them, as you can see, 45%, they don't really know too much about AI to kind of feel like they can agree with using it inside of projects. But out of the whole thing, you can see 73% believe that AI and ML, which is machine learning, can have a potential impact in the customer experience. But for us, it'll be a potential impact in, say, the filmmaking and content creation. So targeted audience, I want to put this project out there for people more on the younger side who have an interest in the less traditional side of filmmaking, because this will be something that it's not really traditional in terms of how you create a short film. And the targeted audience can actually be split into two groups. So one would be the audience that's actually more interested in the final product rather than the way we create this project. But I think the other group of people would be generally, I guess you could say, both concerned and interested in the behind the scenes process of how these short films can be made. What are the tools that are used, how to apply them correctly, and how to especially apply them creatively to a project. So it doesn't feel like, these AI tools are just taking over for me and doing the work for me. It's not that, it's me using these tools to assist and to redefine and to recreate essentially this idea in my head to a more broader experience. So the proposed solution is that AI can be a powerful tool in driving creative projects forward. These tools offer a promising solution to the challenges faced in creative projects. By leveraging the power of I, as a content creator, can take my ideas to the next level, making it more unique and engaging. When AI is used responsibly, and I think that's the big word is responsibly, it can transform the creative industries, advancing both technology and the means for storytelling and content creation. So the process here is that for the pre-production, the creation of the film idea, dialogue foundation, shot list, storyboard, these are all things that I will have a base knowledge and general idea on how to do, but I will use AI to accompany me into kind of solidifying it and making it more of a fleshed out process. Uh, the production is mainly on me, but I feel that AI can also help out in areas that I'm not really physically capable of, which is stuff like the score composition or creating sound effects that may be required for the final product. And of course, the post production would be like a visual stylization. So adding like an artsy look to the video so it doesn't look like, a live action thing. Could be uh kind of like an interpretation of something else. It's not just bland and stale. It can offer more creative visuals rather than, a standard short film might have the opportunity of doing on its own. So this is an example that I have set up. This is kind of like an example of how to create a proper storyboard using AI. So when collaborating with AI, I can create shot lists based on an idea by inputting specific details into a chatbot. And for this case, I use ChatGPT to create a shot list. These are example of shot lists that were created using ChatGPT when given a short prompt about father and son fishing. So the prompt I gave to ChatGPT is giving me a shot list of a short film about a father and son fishing. Give me a shot number, whether the shot is interior, exterior, the shot type, and the camera angle, and the type of movement in a camera, the subject and description of the shot. And the reply that it came up with is, of course, these are three of like, I want to say about 15 shots it came up with. But for an example, I chose to start with the first three shots and it said exterior, wide shot, eye level, It's a static shot, and the description was Jonathan and his son standing on a pier fishing. So I got that example and I put it into an image generator. So an exterior wide angle shot at eye level of a father and son fishing on a lake. And then I added some lighting and made it 16:9. That's the aspect ratio. So I put that into an image generator, and the results that came out were some of these. These are things that I can use inside of my actual storyboard to kind of pre-plan and visualize shots that I want to get for this film. And the more detailed I get, the better the results. So if I'm unhappy with the results, I can always recreate it. And an example of that is, okay, maybe I don't want them on a pier, and maybe I want John and his son inside of a boat instead. So I can actually put a modified version of this prompt into it and use the boat as an identifier. So the modded version of this prompt that was previously used precedes results like this. And as someone who cannot draw at all, this will help me to express and visualize shots that I would like to get with my team as we go out to do the production. So I think the final statement is that this is something that will not be doing the work for me. It's there to show collaboration, how working hand in hand with these tools can be useful at our disposal. These programs can create something that usually would require more resources than what most creative students and independent filmmakers could have at any given time. And that is it. If there's any questions, thank you.